Hi traders, this is Cynthia of Day Trade Forex, and I'm bringing you a short review video for Jason Sweezey's new trade manager, which he calls Turn Pro Trader version 3. And it's a real simple zip file, and it comes with the PDF that shows you how to do the installation. And once you've installed it, you'll find it under Expert Advisors. And I'm just going to show you what I do with things that I want to get at very quickly, and I'm going to add it to my favorites so that it shows up in favorites. So right mouse click it and click add to favorites. Now it's under favorites, and you can drag it onto any chart that you determine that you want to trade. Now, because it's just a trade manager, it doesn't come with the trading system. So you have to have a trading system already that you enjoy using and that you trust. So in this demonstration video, I'm using my own basic neon breakout. The basic system does not come with the trade manager, but I highly recommend that everybody use a trade manager. It just makes your trading life so much simpler and easier and less stressful. And you can actually bag a lot more pips without having to sit at your computer waiting for your target to be reached or stressing out if it reverses on you and what to do. The trade manager will do everything for you. So I highly recommend that if you're not already using a trade manager, that this is a trade manager that I do like very much. I have been using it this week since Jason gave it to me to try, and I really like it. And I highly recommend that if you don't already have a trade manager, that you consider purchasing this one. He's got it priced really reasonably, and I think you're going to really like it. He says everybody really likes it, and I really like it. So when you drag it onto a chart, it opens up into the Inputs tab, and this is your input settings, which are adjustable. And he gives you a PDF that shows you exactly how to adjust it if you so desire. I'm bringing the PDF over here because he's got nice explanations for each of the settings. So if you want to choose your own lot size, then you need to have this to be false. So right now it's set at 0.02, and because one of the best features about this is that it'll book half of your lot size when it reaches the first target. So it will book 50% of your lot size. So that means whatever lot size you put in here needs to be divisible by 2. So 0.02, your broker can take half of that lot size and book 0.01, and you'll still have 0.01 in the trade. And it will move your original trade to break even plus 5 pips. So that's what these settings mean. It's in points, which means it's usable also on indices. So if you're into trading the DAX or the Dow or crude oil or any of the indices that you like, I like crude oil and I like the Japan index in the Asian session. So you can use this because it's in points, and the CFDs all use points. So this can be used for currencies or indices or gold. So the main thing is that your lot size is divisible by 2. So you would not choose 0.03. It would not book exactly half. It will take close to half, but it's not an exact half. So you would probably, to make things easier, just always make sure that it's 0.04 or 0.10. That's okay, and 0.20. So you get the idea that it just should be round numbers. For instance, not 0.05, because it can't book it exactly in half, which doesn't really matter because it's still going to book close to half. So these settings are all adjustable. I do want to say that the default settings are actually more of a day trade swing trade, because his first take profit is 500 points, which is actually 50 pips, and it's going to close 50% of your lot size when it hits 50 pips. So you cannot use this for scalping unless you're in a very, very fast market. But the second take profit is 1,000 points, which is actually 100 pips. And you can choose to let the profit run if you want. I'm going to drag over his settings explanation, which are excellent. And here's what he says about the move stop loss settings. Actually, let the profit run is set up false, but I don't understand what that means, so you'd have to send him an email and ask him. The trailing settings, I did experiment with the trailing settings this week. I turned use trailing to true and the default is false, and I found that I got stopped out too quickly. So you can increase the trailing trigger, increase it maybe from 50 to 100, which means it would be increased from 5 pips to 10 pips. And the trailing distance you could leave at 1, or you could set it at 2, which would be 20 points if you wanted to trail even a little bit looser. So the only thing is that these default trailing settings are pretty tight for these default settings, which are day trade, swing trade. So if you want to use this as it is, just for day trading or swing trading in a strong market, if the pair you're using it on is moving very, very well, then you can easily make 50 pips to 100 pips out of this. But if you want to use it for scalping, you're going to have to reduce these values. So the partial take profit, maybe you could set it at 200 points, which would be 20 pips, and maybe the take profit, instead of 1,000 points, which is 100 pips, you could maybe make that 40 or 50 pips, or 400 or 500 points. We just have to get used to the point system. So these are the stop loss movements after it's already moved your initial stop to break even plus 5 pips. It will keep trailing with these, keep moving your stop loss following the price until it reaches the second target. So once it reaches the second target, you will have locked in quite a bit of profit. And so this is just a really simple, easy little trade manager. I really, really like it. And if you decide that you want to use it for scalping, you're going to have to reduce the take profit 1 and the take profit 2. And also you're going to have to reduce the move stop loss settings. Once you've, maybe you could cut all of these in half if you want to make a scalping set file for yourself. So once you've reduced the move stop loss settings to half and leave the trigger alone, just the move stop loss, maybe make that 25, maybe make this 5, maybe make this 5, maybe make this 10. You would be creating a scalping set file for yourself. Then you would have to click save and call it Turn Pro Trader Scalp, and then you'll have created for yourself a scalping set file which you can use when the ranges for a certain pair are not very wide and the market momentum is not very strong. Then that's when you would decide to scalp. But if the market momentum is strong and the range is wide, this is a great swing trading set file, possibly a day trading set file. So it just depends on the pair you're trading and the market conditions for that particular pair. So as a trader, you need to know these things, because you can't just use a trade manager, any trade manager, right out of the box with the default settings, because if it's a pair that doesn't move very well, for instance, this is the pound US dollar. The average daily range is 84 pips over 10 days, and today it's moved only 73 pips. So that's definitely not a swing trade type of market condition is more of a day trade. And if you can get half of the daily range, say you could book maybe 40 pips when it was the most active, which would have been maybe right around in here, then that's not a swing trade setup. So you can't use a swing trade set file. So this default set file is only for the most active markets. For pairs that range more than this as an average daily range, you need a really strong trending pair. For instance, the pound New Zealand, the average daily range is 145 pips spread over 10 days, which is a much better range. Today it's only 79. So we need to find a pair that has a higher average daily range. Here's the pound yen. The average daily range is 94, and today it was 93. So it traded pretty normally today. So if you want to use this with the swing set file, you still, no matter what, you wouldn't have reached your second target. You would have reached your first target, and then it would be trailing. So maybe that's okay, not on a Friday. So on a Friday, you would want to use your scalp set file or a day trade set file. So I hope that makes sense. So on days when, like Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, the trends are bigger for almost all of the pairs. So if you get a real strong moving, wide ranging average daily range pair, then these default swing settings would be really good. So I hope that explains to you. Oh, the other thing, now we're going to click OK. So that's going to put, this is what it looks like right on the chart. Now it's in the far right corner, and maybe you don't want it there for some reason. It's not covering up the price action, so it's okay actually. But say you do want it to be over here in the left corner. You have to click on the smiley face and scroll down, and right here is the position. So it says right, so double click it and choose left and say OK. Now you have it over in the left corner. So you can save your template. Just go up and click Save Template and choose whatever template that you're using and save it, and it will save your template with the Trade Manager embedded into the template. And when you apply this new template to any other currency pair, then this Trade Manager will be in the left corner instead of the right corner, and it will have the set file that you've chosen at the time. So if you've left the set file at default, which is a swing trade set file, that's what's going to be inside of the Trade Manager. But if you selected a scalp or a day trade set file that you've created for yourself, then that's what's going to be embedded into the template. And you can apply, say you only like to scalp and you don't ever want a day trade or swing trade, then you have to create that scalp set file, save it as a new template with a new name, and then apply it to any of the pairs that you like to scalp, and then you'll just have an instant template. So I really like this. You can click buy or click sell. It'll immediately place your trade. Oh look, we almost have, in my trading system, I'm only waiting for this one little trend slope to turn red, but I think everything else is almost ready for a sell trade. So I think I'll just click sell and show you what happens. So here's my little demo account, and it put on 0.02, I sold. It put on the stop loss, and the stop loss and the take profit are always at a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2. So that means your reward is always going to be double that of your risk, and your risk is your stop loss. So the take profit will always be double of whatever your stop loss value is. Now on my trading system, I have a little indicator that shows me what my stop loss is. So it's a 50 pip stop loss and a 100 pip take profit. So that's a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 2. That's exactly how I like to trade. and that's how you should be trading. And of course, if you want to drag your take profit down, just go ahead and drag it down with my little indicator. Now I have a take profit of 184.9 pips, so that's like a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Being a Friday afternoon, it's never going to get there, but that just shows you how you can do it. And then if you want to close the trade for any reason, if you want to close half of the trade, partial, well, I'm not in profit yet. This was not exactly the perfect sell entry, but I just wanted to show you how it works. But say I want to close half of this lot. Well, it's at 0.02. Let's see, did it do it? Yes, it did. Now it booked half of my lot size, so now I'm only in this trade with 0.01. And so that's a wonderful thing. You can do that anytime you like. I think that's one of the greatest features of this. And now if I want to close it all, there it is, it's gone. So you can use this on small trading accounts or large trading accounts. I showed you this is how you adjust your lot size. If I want my lot size to be 0.04, a bigger lot size, just click OK, and now it's 0.04. And if you save this as a template, just click Save and choose whatever template you want to save it as, name it. Then you can apply this to any chart, and it's always going to buy or sell 0.04 for you. So as your account grows, you can increase your lot size, but stay conservative. And I love this partial close. I think it's just a great feature. That's about it now for the Turn Pro Trader Trade Manager. And like I said, I highly recommend that you always use a trade manager. You need some kind of trade manager. This is a nice simple little one with some features that I especially like, which is move your initial stop to break even, book half of your lot size, then you have a risk-free trade after that. And the fact that it trails after that, and you can close your trade completely by clicking close all, or book half of your trade at any point that you want by clicking close partial. So I just think that's a great feature. I really like that. So there's a link in the description box below the video which has my link to purchase this. Is priced extremely reasonably, and I don't know why you wouldn't want it. And I have several trade managers in my trading toolkit, and I don't know why you can't have an extra one if you have some already. And if you don't have any trade manager at all, boy, you really need to pick this up. I just can't imagine not trading with the trade manager. And for the price of this one and how easy and simple it is, and especially this partial close, I just think it's a great little trade manager. So I highly recommend it. So thanks so much for watching my video, and please pick it up by clicking the link in the description box below the video, and enjoy. I know you're going to love it. Thanks for watching.